Hey, Bake, I saw you did a radio appearance yesterday, and you said you found out on social media about the quarterback change. Um, Surely, since then, you've had a chance to hear from the head coach. I'm just curious, A, what was his message, and B, what is the team reaction to the quarterback change?
His message was just letting us know. Um, I think just the one thing, we was just off, and uh, uh, you know, that's when we all heard it. We was just off. One thing about Flo, he always make sure we know news first. But I think the team is excited. We all excited. We ready to go. We believe in Tua. He definitely can get the job done, and we're all excited what we can do. So I guess we'll see when the time comes.
Cam?
Hey, Bake, we just got a chance to talk to Fitz, and he was, pretty emotional, feeling like he lost his job. How was that in the locker room for you guys? Obviously you want to support Tua, who's the exciting young player, but you got a guy like Fitz that y'all love and, put a lot into it for y'all.
It's a part of the job. At the end of the day, you just want the team to do well. We all believe in our coaching staff, so that's who they went with. We all excited, and we expect Tua to do great things. So it's unfortunate, but it's also a part of the job. But at the end of the day, we just got to get the job done.
Adam?
48 hours ago, we were talking about how this team, won 3 out of 4 in blowout fashion, and was looking like a real playoff contender. Are all those things still in front of you in 2020 with a rookie quarterback?
Yeah, our season is it's a lot more games left to play. We have a lot of areas we need to improve on. These past few wins, I think we're not just excited what we done, but what we can do. So the one thing that got us to this point is we truly show up every day and we put the work in. So these past few games is just a small glimpse of that.
Safid?
Yeah, Baker, just a little bit more on the locker room news and the reaction to when you guys first heard of the news. I know like Flo likes to inform you guys first, but that wasn't the case in this situation. How did you guys kind of deal with everything kind of collectively before finding out from Flo and then now after hearing from him?
I think the one thing we all excited, you know, that's the one thing I think we all can agree on is we're excited. Um, we all seen it as far as his talent, he can do it. So I think now we're just excited for him to actually do it and show the world what he can do. So um, yeah, we definitely all excited.
Travis?
Hey, Jerome, want to ask you about your defense for a second. You guys really shut down the last 2 offenses you've seen and really heated the quarterback up in both those games. A lot of new names in the defense this year. How much of that production is just, in your opinion, growing more comfortability in the defense and guys just kind of gelling and coming together?
It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. I think as a defense, we're definitely learning what different guys is comfortable doing. We're trusting each other more. But at the same time, we have so many things we can improve on. I think as a defense, that's what we're so excited about. We're making plays now, but we left a lot of plays that we definitely could have took advantage of. So I think as a defense, we're definitely excited. We're hungry, so we got a lot more to prove.
All right, we'll take one more. Cam?
Hey, Bake, obviously, us as media, we haven't been able to see all the practice since camp. So I kind of wanted to get a gauge of maybe what it's been like facing Tua. We haven't seen him. What have you seen from him? And has it been different from what you saw in camp?
He's a smart, collected young man. He's very smart. He's very calm. He's one of he's definitely gonna be a future great player in this league. So I think we all excited. We all know what he can do. I think the one thing that surprises me or that surprised me is I always tell this story. When he first came in, we went through a few practices. We threw so many different looks at him, and instead of getting down on himself or saying it's too hard or whatever, or getting emotional, after practice, it was me and Bobby. He came by and just asked us questions, asked for advice. What can he work on? What can he see? Whatever it is that he can get better. And I think that was the one thing that that really stuck to me. Of he just truly wants to get better. He truly wants to help us win. And I'm definitely happy that he gets a shot.
Ruthie.
Hi, Bake. I'm sure you heard it and you felt it on Sunday when Tua went into the game. Obviously, the fan base is excited to have this kind of superstar power as their quarterback. Do you guys feel that from, social media or just amongst the locker room, just kind of the national hype around Tua?
I think in the locker room, he's still, our rookie. So
Yeah.
he can get all the hype he want, but he still has to do his rookie duties. You still have to, honestly, you still have to prove that, he's ready. So, we understand this is still, the media is going to give you all the credit and all of that. But at the end of the day, you still have to strap on those pads and, gain our trust and gain, the trust of everybody around us that you can do it. So, but the one thing we're definitely, I think we all can agree on is we're behind him 100%, and we definitely believe in him.
Last question, Omar.
Bake, I wanted to ask you, did you all as a team get the question addressed in terms of why Tua, why now?
No, we didn't get that question. I think the one thing that, with that is, we just put all our trust and flow in our coaching staff. If he says Tua's the man to lead us, we're going to go with it. We're going to support him. Defense is going to support our offense. Just as offense pick us up, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to come together as a team and just back them up and do what we have to do to win games.
Hey, Fitzy, obviously, the news is of the QB change. What was your first reaction when you heard, and what do you think that means for you going forward?
I was shocked by it. It definitely caught me off guard, and it was a hard thing for me to hear yesterday. Just kind of digesting the news. My heart just hurt all day. Like it was heartbreaking for me. And Flo kind of said what he said and said what he said to you guys as well. And that's the decision and the direction that the organization is going in. And obviously, we've talked in the past, me and you guys, about, how I'm the placeholder, and this eventually was going to happen no matter, it was just a matter of kind of when, not if. And it still just, it broke my heart yesterday. And, it's a tough thing for me to hear and to now have to deal with, but I'm going to do my best with it.
Adam.
A two-part question, if I could, Fitz, and I appreciate your candor. One, did you informed by the team, or did you find out from news reports? And two, do you feel like you did enough to keep the job?
I found out. Flo called me to his office, and we talked. Just and he's with everything last year and this year, everything. He's real upfront and honest, and likes to have those face-to-face conversations. So I definitely appreciate that. I think that the second question is irrelevant. Just not that it's a bad question to ask, but that's the decision that was made. So there's not a whole lot I could do about it other than just move forward and kind of accept my new role and try to embrace that and do the best I can to help the team win in that role.
Sofin.
Hey, Fitzy, I think the timing definitely shocked us as well, with you guys being second place in the AFC East and 3-3, kind of looking towards a playoff spot here. I guess how do you kind of move forward, knowing that maybe you were pulled a little bit too early, or maybe pulled when you weren't expected?
And there's a lot of stuff going through my mind yesterday, just from a personal standpoint, not necessarily, with the team, but, is this it? Like, was that, my last game as an NFL player in terms of, being the starter and going out there and playing? and you just kind of go through all those different scenarios. I mean, I've been, starter, I've been benched all kinds of different ways, but this one just really more so than any of them. I think this organization and what we've been through the last year and a half, this was kind of the first place other than Buffalo where I just felt fully, committed and invested and felt like it was my team. And so to have that, I think that's a lot of the reason why my heart was so heavy yesterday, but that's the direction that the organization's going, and I've just got to accept it.
Hal?
Fitz, this is kind of a hard question, but out of my respect for you and the way you have addressed Tua, I would ask you if you have had a chance to talk to Tua and how that may have gone so far.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked. This profession is interesting in that, I got fired yesterday, and then my day of work today consisted of me in Zoom meetings listening to the guy that fired me, and then locked in a spaced out room with my replacement for 4 hours today. So there aren't a whole lot of jobs that are like that, but I know how difficult it is to play the quarterback position. And I know that room is so important to the guy that's playing in terms of everybody having your back and pulling in the same direction. So, today's the day to digest a little bit, and we'll get away for the bye a little bit. But once this thing starts up again, I've got to do my best for Tua to help him out, because there's two separate situations here. One is with Tua, and I want him to do well, and I think he's a great kid, and I think he has a really bright future. And the other one is, my feelings and just kind of what I'm going through, and that has to be separate from when I walk into this building and help him out. I've got to separate those feelings from trying to be a professional and help him out as best I can.
Cam?
Hey, Fitz, I appreciate you just kind of sharing this emotion. I know it's probably not easy to kind of talk through this. You mentioned just the thought of, was this my last game? I just kind of wanted to get the gauge of how that conversation has been like with you and your family about just, obviously you put so much emotion and energy into this. Have you guys started to have that conversation and decide, think about what that all means?
No, I mean, those are just things running through my head, but that's, you just never know in this league. And to me, those conversations at this point aren't really worth having. There'll be a time and a place for that, but they've always been obviously very supportive of me, and they are in this journey together with me. So it's nice to have that kind of support. And it's hard this day and age. My two boys in middle school, they don't get to find out from dad. They get to find out, through a friend. They got a text message. So that part of it is just the world we live in now. But, they probably dropped me from their fantasy teams. But other than that, they still love me.
We'll take two more, Barry.
Hi, Ryan. A, did the idea of asking for a trade cross your mind? And B, could the idea of being a long-term backup to Tua, including next year, even though you don't have a contract for next year, could that idea grow on you and ultimately be appealing to you?
I have no idea. I mean, those, I don't go in there and demand or ask for anything. And in terms of the other stuff, the long-term future, I have no idea. I know that I just love playing this game. I love being out there and the camaraderie that brings, and dealing with the adversity with your teammates, and those are the kind of things that I truly love about this game. So I definitely like playing more than I like sitting and watching.
All right, last one, Joe.
Fitz, obviously you're going to be ready to play. There's always the chance that you could have to go in, injury, anything, any reason. How is it explained to you relative to the permanence of this decision?
I mean, we didn't really get into that, but last year when Josh went in, I feel like, that was a different situation. He was either gonna, sink or swim, and I ended up back in the lineup. And this is a different situation. I mean, you draft a guy, 5th overall and put him in. This isn't a temporary. I mean, this is a forever decision. This is a long-term decision. So, I think those two situations are very different. And yeah, I mean, I'm always, I'm always ready to go, and I could probably come out of the stands and play in 5 years if I needed to, but without picking up a football, But that's just, again, accepting the role that I've now been given and trying to do the best I can in that role.
Hey, Tua, first, congratulations on named the starter. Why have you won this job? Why do you think you deserve this job? And how did you hear about it?
Yeah, well, I first heard about it from Coach. Coach called me and told me the news. But I think that question is more so for the coaches. As a player in the NFL, you're just trying to do your best to prepare every day you can. And when your opportunity is given, it's given. You just got to be ready. I think that's a question for you guys to ask the coaches, because really it's out of my control with the decision making.
Cam?
Hey, Tua, I know when you first make your start, I guess November 1st, it'll be 351 days since that hip injury you suffered. Have you thought about just sort of the full circle of everything and, what's leading you to your first start?
Well, it's definitely been a journey. I definitely think of, that injury when I got hurt, and then the process leading up to being able to walk, being able to do football drills, being able to just do things in general. I definitely do reflect on that process that I went through. And, I'm definitely blessed to be able to still be here and play the game that I grew up dreaming to play.
Joe?
Hey, Tua, good to see you and congratulations. The team is 3-3, so it's pretty well positioned. You're not stepping into a bad situation. Can you talk about what your goals are for this season?
Well, my goals are to do whatever I can do to help this team become successful, especially our offense. I mean, everyone knows Fitz has done a tremendous job. And I don't know, I just feel like I'm definitely lucky. I'm blessed to be in the situation I'm in where I can continue to learn from a guy like Fitz. And then also, having, the mind of Chan, him helping kind of put me in the offense, I guess, in a situation, like in a good situation. I think that's what's going to be important the next couple weeks and, the entire season.
Mike? Mike, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Tua, what was it like after Flo told you and you had some alone downtime? What were your emotions like once you absorbed what he had told you about making his change to make you a starter?
Yeah, I was very excited. That's news that I think anyone would love to hear, being named the starter at any position. But, at the same time, I also felt for Fitz as well. And me and Fitz had a conversation, just about all of this. But, like I've continued to say, I mean, although it kind of hurts me in a way to see Fitz hurt, I'm just very, very, lucky to have someone like Fitz in my corner, regardless of the situation we're in right now. He's just, I hate to say it like this, but it is like this. It's like a father and son.
Al?
It's, I'm sorry. Were you caught off guard by the announcement, or could you sense that this day might be coming?
Yeah, you never know when your opportunity is given. And when Coach Flo called me, I thought it was like any other call. We usually watch film on Tuesdays. And so I thought he was calling because he wanted me to come up and watch some film. So I usually, get with him to watch film, but it was different. I just think that you need to be ready every time. So, opportunities come, and when they come, you gotta take them and run with them.
Ruthie?
Hi, Tua. Congratulations. You've been so open with us about how much your family has influenced your journey. I'm curious if you're comfortable sharing anything about your conversation with your parents yesterday when you heard the news.
Yeah, well, I told my parents that I got a call from Coach Flo, and the GM was in that same room, and they told me that I was going to be the starter. And so I told them that, and I mean they were excited. They didn't believe me for a little bit. I think my dad kind of joked about it. He's like, after 2 plays or after 2 throws, they want to put you in now. So it was exciting, but my parents were, they were very excited, especially my mom. For mothers, it's just different when you see your son get hurt and then given the opportunity now. So it was cool.
Safid?
Hey, Tua, I wanted to ask, you probably didn't know beforehand you were going to go into the Jets game. The pass to Patrick Laird, did you throw that out of bounds, throw that so he can go out of bounds to maybe give yourself some more time to be in the game? And also I wanted to ask, what was your reaction about, Rick Ross shouting you out on Instagram?
Yeah. I only seen Pat. Pat was the only guy that was open. So I threw it to Pat. And I knew the situation, and I told the guys while we were running the ball, the running backs, and then the receivers as well in the huddle, that it's under 2 minutes. Let's stay in bounds. Let's try to kill the clock. And then there I go. So Pat caught the ball, and Pat tried to stay in bounds, but Brian Poole hit him out. But yeah, that's just how that went. And then with Rick Ross, I mean, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. To see someone of his profile, in the rap world, whatever you want to call it, be of support. So that was cool to see.
We got time for one more, Travis.
Hey, Tua, you got a chance to game plan and prepare for 6 opponents and then go out and watch, a master of his craft do it for those 6 games on game days. How did that accelerate your growth and help prepare you for your first start now 11 days away in the NFL?
That's a great question. I think with having someone like Fitz, you just don't think like within what you start thinking of what other people are doing, the defense, how they line to stack formations, how fronts can dictate coverages. I mean, just things that I didn't really need to worry about in college, I think of now. And it really is about the little things. And so it's just, like I said, it's just really, really a big blessing that I have someone like him. And, it's not like it stops here. It's a continuous competition, with Fitz. And what's so cool about it is that I can continue to grow and continue to learn from him through this process.